Hello, football fans. Welcome to another episode of Football Pundit on YouTube. If you are passionate about football as I am, you are in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. The Premier League season has finally kicked off, and Arsenal have made an impressive start to the season. United and Liverpool have also begun their campaigns with wins. We have got a lot to talk about on Arsenal's standout performance. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's get started. Arsenal have started the season as they ended the last season with an impressive performance and a win. And two players stood out among the rest of the players for Arsenal today, where Arsenal took on Wolves and recorded a victory of 2-0. These two players are Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz. Both of them were magnificent throughout the game, with Saka being a threat towards the right hand side all the time, and Kai Havertz manipulating the places and starting off in the forward striker role. Both Havertz and Saka scored and assisted for each other's goal. They were impressive throughout the game, with Saka being a constant threat on the right hand side and Havertz creating havoc on the starting as a forward. It all got changed a bit when Gabriel Jesus was introduced in the game later at a point of time. Kai Havertz has really grown into the Arsenal squad with an impressive performance last season and starting his Premier League campaign with an assist and a goal this time against Wolves. Now one thing to remember is when we bought Kai Havertz, everybody was in the frame where this is not a good signing. He will not do well. He has already passed his good years. He's not the same player that he was in Leverkusen. And in Chelsea, he wasn't performing well and hated by the Chelsea fans as well. And when Arsenal got him, he had a very rough start during the start of last season. At least till the time I think when we were hitting close to I think November or December, when he started kicking in, he started scoring goals, and he ended the season with close to 13 goals and 7 assists, which is 20 goal contributions, which is was very impressive. He was the second highest goal contributor for the whole Arsenal squad, with Bukayo Saka, our star boy, being the first with I think he had 16 goals, with Bukayo Saka being the first. He had 16 goals and 9 assists with 25 goal contributions and being Arsenal's highest goal scorer last season. Arsenal hosted Wolves at the Emirates to start their Premier League campaign. They had a pretty impressive performance where they dominated most of the position, keeping Wolves at base mark. Wolves also grew into the game later at a later point in time in the second half, where they started to ask questions about Arsenal's defense, but Arsenal kept their cool, tried to manage the situation, and with Saka giving us the second goal, and the game was pretty much done at that point of time. We also had substitutes come on as we saw Timber. Like it was good to see Timber as he was injured during the last season's campaign, and it was good to have him having some Premier League minutes. It will give him some confidence. We also had Gabriel Jesus come up. He was impressive in the minutes that he had. We had Trossard. So it was an overall good performance where Arsenal mostly dominated all of the game. Now let's look at some match stats. Arsenal, if you see, Arsenal had a better shots, 18 shots to 9. They had better shots on target with 16 shots to 6 shots to 3. They had more position in the opposition box. The position percentage doesn't give us a very clear picture, as I do agree Wolves did grew into the game in the second half. They had more position in the second half, and at a point of time they looked threatening, but Arsenal were calm and composed. So this is a good start for us. Like we had 8 corners taken, and we are corner FC, if you know what I mean. But unfortunately, we couldn't convert any of from any of those corners. We had more fouls committed, but I think overall Arsenal pretty much dominated the game. If you see here, we had a better goal xG as well, with Arsenal's 1.25 xg to Wolves 0.43. That gives you a clear picture on we were more threatening and we had more chances of converting our goals. That brings me to the point that even though Arsenal cruised 2-0 victory over Wolves, we do need a clinical striker. There was one chance where Martinelli cut the ball back to Havertz, and Havertz was in a wonderful position, but still he drew his shot wide. Now, this is the question for you. I personally feel we do need a clinical striker. We do need either you get us an Ivan Tony, which I'm sure because of the PR around him and the PR around Arsenal Football Club, they are not going to get him. So we are left with Osimhen or anybody else that can help us. A clinical striker is much needed at this football club because this season will define us. When Kai Havertz was asked about Bakayo Saka, he said that he is unbelievable. There is not a lot of players like him on the planet. He's still so young. He can get better. It's very rare to see a young player like this. We all know that he is our star boy. He performs day in, day out, plays 90 minutes of the game for Arsenal. He is outstanding. If you look at the stat for Bakayo Saka, he had 44 touches, 15 in the opposition box, 18 by 20 passes completed, 5 chances created, 5 shots, 4 duels won, 4 expositions won, 3 shots, 2 tackles, 2 fouls, 1 goal and 1 assist. It has it is an impressive start to the season for Bakayo Saka. And if you see the heat map here, the heat maps gives you a very clear picture of Bakayo Saka dominating the right hand side of the Arsenal attack, where he was a constant threat throughout the game. If you see here, we have Saka's another stats where it shows the tackles, which he won 100%. He had a 90% pass accuracy, 5 chances created, and the crosses and goals are almost the same. Now let's talk about our Rolls-Royce defender, William Saliba. William Saliba stood up to his name of being a Rolls-Royce defender, where he had a clean sheet and he had an impressive performance. If you see here, he had 100% of the tackles that he went into won, 100% of air duels won, 87 passing accuracy, 4 tackles, 3 by 3 aerial duels won, 3 clearances and 1 interceptions. There was one another major thing that William Saliba did with this win against Wolves, where William Saliba now becomes the fastest player to reach 50 Premier League wins for Arsenal. He has played 66 games with 50 wins. He has had amazing 30 clean sheets and 4 goals to his name. He has been an absolute immense player for Arsenal from the last season and continuing his form to this season. Now let's talk about our none other donkey Kai Havertz. Now Kai Havertz had an impressive number as well, where he opened the scoring for Arsenal with his impressive header, which had an assist from Saka. It was a good ball in the 6-yard box, and Havertz was as good as he is with the headers. I am really curious to know what goes on in the training, where we have so many players right now at Arsenal with Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Ben White, and Kai Havertz. All of them are pretty good at headers. If we see his numbers, he had 44 touches, 10 touches in the opposition box, 7 duels won, 5 shots, 3 fouls, 2 chances created, 1 goal and 1 assist. He had a very good game. Arteta was absolutely delighted with starting his Premier League campaign with a win, and there are some stats which are amazing as well. So if you see here, Arsenal have now won more points, 52 in 2024, than any Premier League side. Both Man City and Arsenal have played 19 Premier League games this calendar year, with Arsenal have winning 17 games and Man City have been winning 16, the informed team for the 2024. Now if you remember, the only 2 games that we haven't won are the one game where we drew at the Etihad, and the second where we played Aston Villa at home in the Emirates and we lost to them. And I think the Emirates game was one of the deciding games for Arsenal's season and not winning the Premier League title last season. So I hope they really improve their performance and really go for it this season. Let's look into the post-match conference and what Arteta has to say. Arteta was absolutely delighted with an impressive win to start his Premier League campaign, and when asked about Rice, he confirmed that Rice was suffering from a cramp at the end of the game, and that's why it was more of a precautionary measure just to take off Rice. When he was asked about Partey, he said that I think we have certain problems, especially in the second half. It's part of the game. There are things we can do better, and to have more security, we will get better. Arteta, when he was asked if he had to leave the Euros finalist players out, he said, first of all, you have to really understand where they are. Those kids have been through a lot the past 2 years. When you see that, that is genuine, I think. Arteta on Raya, Saka, and Rice coming back. I'm not surprised. This was mentality straight away after the last game. They wanted to come back and be here nearly. If the players are doing that, it will raise the level. Arteta on Saka cutting on his left foot. With good players, it's like that. With Messi, I know he's gonna come in and do that, but you can't stop him. Arteta on the game, he said, especially the beginning of the match, first half, we were really good, really intense. We generated a lot. Probably should have scored three or more. Second half, we were sloppy and the game was a bit more open. Bakayo has an unbelievable action to score the 2-0. Mikel Arteta has spoken to the Sky Sports after the game. He said, I'm really happy. When the first game you have some uncertainty in how you will respond. We had our moment after the 1-0 when we were not in the control, but Saka's goal we became very much comfortable. The way the boys go about their job is unbelievable and so very happy. We knew Wolves could change the game and they did in the second half, but with our changes we became a bit stronger. We certainly are. We had a really good preseason. There are things to improve, sure, but overall we were really happy. The lack of control in the second half is something that we can improve on. So we gave so many simple balls away. We also had to finish situations better, but overall we were happy. And that's what we all think about the game as well. In the first half, we looked more dominant. In the second half, Wolves grew into the game. And at a point of time, they looked dangerous. And it was looking as maybe the 1-0 could be dangerous and maybe Wolves could pull one back. And then it could be have been a different story overall. But thankfully, Arsenal defense remained strong. And Bakayo Saka's impressive goal gave us the much needed buffer that we needed, with ending the game with Arsenal beating Wolves 2-0. Now, to end the conversation, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do Arsenal really need a striker? I personally feel we do need a clinical number 9 who can score close to 20 goals a season. We do need them. It looks like Merino is almost done according to Fabrizio Romano's report. So that would be a good addition to the Arsenal squad. And let me know what you think about anything else that I should be covering. So that's all for today's episode of Football Pundit. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more football insights and discussions. See you next time.